In this episode of Windows Games on Linux, we're going over Diablo 3 and getting it working in Linux. So the Diablo franchise has a special place in my heart. It's one of the first PC games I played. I remember I was in high school and playing it in math class because I hooked my math teacher up with it. I was a kind of a math nerd in high school, and that's kind of my first experiences. And then me and my best friend playing Diablo 2. Man, that was a lot of fun doing the online multiplayer of that. And then Diablo 3, I've played it a bit. It's a bit different. I never really enjoyed the first iteration of it with the auction house. However, I did play it all the way through Inferno difficulty when it first came out, which was incredibly difficult, but I still managed to beat it on it. And then every iteration all the way to Seasons, and also like the Necromancer add-in pack. And I played it up to level 110, I believe, in the actual Greater Rift range. So it was quite a bit up there. However, I loaded up one of my characters. I don't know what level I had on my Necromancer. I think I got him into mid to upper 90s. Since then, there's been a lot of balancing changes and other bits. I can't push that because I haven't really played Diablo since season 6, I want to say 6 or 7. So in this video, you're going to see me go through the actual installation, different configuration changes, like I show options on how to directly launch on the Diablo 3 without using the Battle.net launcher. This is mainly so you can add that shortcut into Steam and use like a Steam controller if you have the carpal tunnel. Like I have a little bit of carpal tunnel in this hand, mainly from being on the computer as much as I am. Having a Steam controller gives it that good versatility. I really enjoy the Steam controller. It's great, especially with these types of really mind-numbing games where you're just sitting there clicking the same button over and over again. It can really take off a lot of strain. But if you're obviously doing competitive type things, you're going to need the keyboard and mouse. And for today's purposes, I'm only going to use the keyboard and mouse. So after the configuration portion of this video and kind of showing you the dependencies, installation, and modifications on the shortcut from Lutris, we'll go into a quick 1-minute montage. I did an entire Greater Rift run at level 70. However, I didn't want to show 15 minutes of that because that's a little extreme in my opinion. So I took the first 2 levels, sped them up about 500%, and on that, I did a little montage over a minute. So you'll see it at 500%. And then on level 3, we're about to finish out the Rift. You can actually see a lot more of that gameplay in real time. So you can kind of see frame rates and those types of things. I did not put an FPS counter on this. I completely forgot. However, know this, it was buttery smooth on my system. I know I never even got anywhere close to below 60 frames per second. So felt really good for me, and I really enjoy this game. I do like Path of Exile a little bit more, but, who doesn't these days? That said, let's go ahead and jump into installing and configuring Diablo 3. So to install Diablo 3, it is actually quite simple. When you click install and load up using Lutris, it pretty much installs and goes just fine. However, you gotta make sure you meet the requirements before attempting this install, otherwise it will fail every single time. So the very first thing you need to do is make sure that you have installed DXVK. If you haven't, check up here. I'm going to go ahead and link in the title card. I already did an entire video about DXVK and eSync and how to get them working on your system. If you haven't and you play games on your system, it is kind of a no-brainer. You need to have these 2 things installed before proceeding. So let's say you've got DXVK and eSync done. You followed that video. You're ready to go to the next step. Next, we need to make sure you have the dependencies for Battle.net installed. We're not actually technically installing Battle.net just yet, but we need to make sure all these dependencies are installed. So to do this, if you click on Wine Dependencies from that Blizzard app page, you'll actually see this is everything you need. So if you're on Arch, you would just take this and copy paste it. Now, it does say enable multi-lib, which is an important aspect of Arch, and most people already have this enabled. However, by default in any Arch install, most times multi-lib isn't enabled, and you need to enable multi-lib. But with that done, you can copy paste these. If you do get errors saying, hey, a whole bunch of these libraries aren't found, multi-lib basically enables lib32 packages to be installed on your system. So if you're having issues, make sure to check that out. It's considerably easier on Debian-based systems like Ubuntu, Linux Mint, all those. Basically, you're just adding the repository and then easily going in and doing the installation. So a very easy thing to do on most installs. Make sure you obviously install Lutris before proceeding, which you can easily do that through your package manager. And then from here, you click install and it will go ahead and launch Lutris, which I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. And here's what you get. It would go ahead and prompt you, and you just hit next, install, go through the prompts. There's literally nothing there to get any hiccups there. I will say, just make sure you read the instructions on the screen. The only thing you can run into problems if you just don't pay attention and like immediately sign into the launcher. Sometimes you can run into issues. Just make sure you're paying attention to what Lutris is telling you. But for the most part, it is pretty dead simple. Any options in here, I pretty much left everything as is. There is one thing I changed. I enabled eSync because I'm a big eSync advocate as long as you've got it configured on your system. Not necessary. Honestly, you could keep this disabled. It's not going to matter much for probably 99% of you. So the stock settings are perfect. Other things and tweaks I've done is I added a dash launch after the initial patching process. What this does is when you change this from Battle.net, I'm going to go ahead and browse real fast. Go browse, and instead of the Battle.net launcher, I went ahead and switched this to Diablo3.exe, and then I put dash launch. This basically bypasses all of the need for the Battle.net launcher and patching. So just directly into the game because I didn't want to do that. I can also take this and also import the shortcut into Steam and play directly off of Steam if I wanted to, which sometimes I do, like playing Diablo 3 on a Steam controller if I'm just grinding out some stuff. And that's why I do these little shortcuts. However, again, you don't need to do that. You can launch directly through the Battle.net launcher with no issue. I just like this tweak to launch directly into Diablo 3. So with that said, everything is installed. Let's go ahead and do some sample gameplay. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and launch our Diablo 3. We're just going to right click after launching Lutris and hit play. Now there is some in-game settings that I wanted to go over, so as soon as we get to our main menu, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, before we actually launch into here, I wanted to go over a couple in-game settings before we jump in. So under options in video, make sure that lock cursor is not checked. You will run into all kinds of problems with your cursor disappearing if this is checked. Also, your display should be on windowed full screen, not full screen. That's really important as well, because with either of these things not set correctly, your cursor may disappear after about 10 minutes of gameplay. So it's a little bug, but easily avoided by just setting this to windowed full screen and making sure lock cursor is not checked. So I went ahead and we're set at the maximum difficulty level, Torment 3. Let's go ahead and do a challenge rift at the max this game has to offer, and we're going to power through this and see what we get. So Torment 13, max level is about level 60. Let's go ahead and do 70. I haven't played this character in a while, so I'd probably have done a higher level. I think I got this guy up to like level 90 back in the day. However, things have probably been balanced a little bit better, and he's probably not quite as powerful these days. So with that, let's go ahead and do this.
My name is Ash, and like when the champions of if you have a gem of sufficient quality. Hello.
I need to go back.
Well done, champion.
All right, and that was Diablo 3. Pretty good gameplay. I had a horrible run there. I died 3 times, but we still made it through the enhanced rift, and everything works pretty good. So no complaints. Feels just like it does on Windows. Same frames per second. Everything just kind of feels exactly the same. Very flowing, no stutters, nothing. So can't even tell the difference between Linux and Windows, which is fantastic. So that was it for Diablo 3, the setup configuration and some sample gameplay for you guys to kind of see the Diablo 3 experience on Linux. Overall, just a complete fun game to play. If you haven't played it all the way through, it is a blast. I have many fond memories of it. Obviously, I've kind of outgrown the game a bit because I've pretty much done everything you can do in it. But that said, it is still a fantastic game. And it plays quite well on Linux. So that's going to do it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed this episode of Windows Games on Linux, and I'll see you in the next one.